Howdy, 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 everybody. How y'all doing? Hi, Anna. Hi, Pam. Anna, Pam has to tell you what I did this morning. That will explain why I'm not allowed to touch the email or the group. It's just, yeah, it was hilarious. So let me know you can hear me and see me. Hi, RD. Awesome. Now, if my brain would clear up, would be okay. We'd be ready to rock and roll today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I travel far and wide. I keep telling them at Tat Days I got a big mouth. I don't need a microphone for the auction. They won't listen. They keep giving me one. I say, I don't need that thing. I got a big mouth. You can hear me 10 blocks away. That ain't no joke. My kids would be outside playing in the subdivision, and I'd step out on the front porch and I'd holler for them. Here they come. And they'd be like 3 streets down. They said, Mom, you got a big mouth. And I do. Y'all might hear Dennis. I've got the door closed. He's just loud. Actually, we moved his desk. We moved him out of the back window and I put my couch back there. I didn't like it where it was. And I bought some new furniture. It just got delivered today. If you know anything about RVs, the furniture is the most uncomfortable that you can ever get. Um, when you live in a RV, the internal is exposed to the elements, whether you like it or not, because there's so many windows. And we had leather sofa, we had a leather love seat. The love seat I couldn't get out of. I had to call a crane to come lift me up. I mean, you literally sunk into the love seat. It was comfortable. Don't get me wrong. I couldn't get out. And with my back problems, that was a no no. So it went. The couch, it went because it broke down on us. I mean, it's cheaply made. You get basically a carcass of a piece of furniture in an RV, and you get the padding and stuff, but there's nothing to support. So it breaks away and gives away, over time. But the leather on it, because it's exposed to the elements with the windows and stuff, it would start peeling. And a lot of people, they're within a year, they had to replace all of their furniture. I replaced it for comfort and not. I don't like leather in the summer or the winter. The summer it's sticky, the winter it's cold. So yeah, and we bought new furniture. So now it's gonna be more comfortable, more homey. I got curtains, things like that. We've been holding off on getting things done on the rig because we wasn't sure what we was gonna do. And now that we got a plan, it's time to fix it up like a house. Hello, Mr. Jeremy. How are you today? Well, I will tell you all the funny after class starts because you're going to cackle. Y'all are going to cackle. I mean, Seriously, I should not try to act like a human being until I've had 2 cups of coffee. Seriously, I shouldn't. We got a lot of fun stuff today. Oh, my eyes are burning. He opened the door and whatever's outside came inside, and now my eyes are itchy burny. Well, that is good, Anna. I'm glad to hear that. You want a quick remedy for your cold? I'm doing fine. I'm just tired all the time. Uh, I'll give you a remedy for your cold. Take zinc, double dose of zinc. Comes in, I think it's 50 milligram capsules. Take 2 of those 3 times a day and take 1,200 milligrams of vitamin C. Cold's gone in 24 hours. Just say it. And it's better for you than the prescription stuff and over the counter stuff. Zinc is really good to clear out viruses and everything. When I had COVID, I had the original COVID, and I will go to a vitamin before I go to the doctor. I'm going to go to the doctor if it's life threatening, okay? And we went through COVID and we took a series of vitamins: zinc, selenium, vitamin C, vitamin D3. We got the emergency teas to drink, and what else was it? There was 5 or 6 vitamins, and we tripled the dosage, and we came out of COVID unscathed. We have no vaccines, and we was over COVID in 4 days. Yeah. Well, whether you do it or not, it comes in all your foods. It's just in small quantities, Pam. Hi, Karen. Karen, I want to apologize. I was a little gruff with you the other day, but I was in the middle of teaching class, private class, and yeah, it's kind of hard to teach and text at the same time. It makes me lag to the student. So, how many we got in here? Is everybody giving a thumbs up there? Y'all got to give a thumbs up underneath video. I got 10 people watching and only one thumbs up. Hi, Vanessa. It's under the video. Okay. And y'all click that thumbs up. It makes our algorithm go up. And the higher the algorithm, make sure above and beyond all that you click the like button, because the algorithm goes up. We're the first they advertise. We build our classes, we get more students, and we spread the word of tatting to the whole world. Okay. Right now we're tapping on, 90,000 students. That's a lot. We want to hit 100,000. So y'all help me get to 100,000 and spread the love for this class. All right. Now, I can tell you all what happened this morning. It was hilarious. I taught a private class with Mary Atlier. She is a wonderful lady. She's a student of ours, and she's very curious about tatting. And she has lots and lots of questions. And I love answering her questions because she digs deep with her questions. And so, anyway, I was in a private class with her, and she had a question about the Dreamlit shuttles. Well, I remembered Barb Foster had put out a video on how to work the Dreamlet. The Dreamlet shuttle is a bobbin shuttle as well as a post shuttle. You can use it either way, but it's magnetized. So the blades come apart so you can wind your bobbin and, or use it as a post. And so anyway, I went to send her the video this morning. Mind you, I hadn't had no coffee. And I go in and I went to reply to her. I wrote the email out to her and everything and sent it. I forgot the link. So I go back in there and try it again. And I sent the link to myself. Yeah, that does Mary no good. So I go back in there a third time. I think I mailed me twice, the class once and Mary once, but she got the link. Now you know why Pam doesn't allow me to touch the email or the group. I'm not allowed. Seriously, I'm technically challenged, and it's really bad when it's first thing in the morning. So yeah, when it comes to computers, it's like, oh God, why me? But that's the whole thing. Yep, I'm lethal. I have been known to lose an entire contact list. Thank God Pam had a backup. She told me I can't delete anything anymore, ever. And I don't. I don't. Because she said she would find me and smack my hands. Hi, Corinne. We got a couple of more minutes for everybody gets in here. Y'all say hi to Mary Jane. It is still funny. I know the humidity. Look at my hair. It's just like a bush. Uh I have to have I have to do it through PayPal, but you can use super chats here and it'll go straight to the account. Down below the chat, there's a dollar sign. You can donate that way and they'll take credit cards, I'm sure, and debit cards. What's the purpose or the advantage of a self-closing mock ring? Well, it makes it easier for people that have a hard time with rings. Their hands don't work the way they should, and the self-closing mock ring makes it easier. It's also can be used to step out of a round. I mean, it has a lot of advantages. You just have to find where it works best. That's one of those techniques that came out way after the ring. Okay. And the purpose of it is, like I say, is to make a chain look like a ring in a place that it's hard to do a ring. Like a ring on ring, it's really not a ring on ring. It's a self-closing mock ring with a throne ring. And it's boiled down to it's a chain with a throne ring on it and another chain that's locked together to make it look like a ring. That pattern from last week is a prime example of the purpose of a self-closing mock ring. So, hi, Derby. You missed all the fun. Yeah, I was bonehead this morning. They could tell you all about it. So, it is now after 3 o'clock my time. I could be a little advanced. You're welcome, Karen. Uh, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, I want to tell you guys what's going on. I've got a lot of extra classes that I teach, and they are private classes. They're free. They're just like the classes here. They're free. But I have students that are struggling. Hey there. Nice to see you, Lillian. Um, we got students that are struggling. They have a hard time understanding because the class system is set up, to just keep moving. And they need that little extra time with me to figure things out. So I've got those going on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Along with Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I've got setting up for the next class. Monday, I set up for Tuesday's class. I do all the sampling for Monday. That's for Tuesday's class. Then I go in Wednesday and do all the sampling for Wednesday's class. And I teach on Tuesday and I teach on Thursday. Friday, I am working on preparing for next week's, gathering up all my literature. And a lot of it isn't even up on the website yet. So therefore, I have to put it up on the website. I have to create the document. And for example, one of the documents today, I had to create and put it up on the website. It wasn't up there. So I had to create it and put it up. So Friday is that day taken away. Saturday and Sunday, I am working with my son and his fiance on the wedding. I've got 6 grandchildren that if the clouds move, they got to call grandma. And the way they call grandma is through the computer. And it's because it's long distance for them to call on a landline. Okay. And they don't have cell phones. I mean, my oldest granddaughter, she just turned 17 and her dad said, no, you're not getting a cell phone. My youngest grandchild is my grandson and he just turned 7. So 6 kids, they're not going to be buying cell phones for all the kids. Well, mom and dad would let them use their cell phone to call me, but sometimes they have secrets they want to keep from mom and dad. So they'll call me on the computer and talk to me. If you contact me through Facebook and I don't answer you, that's the reason. I'm talking to my grands. And when I say my grands, they really are my grands. Okay? They're very dear to me. And anybody that's got grandchildren, they feel the same way. Well, hello, Mary. We're glad you made it. So just know I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I'm very busy. And now I'm getting ready. Let's add to the list of things to do. I'm getting ready for Tat Days. So I've got product I need to make to take to Tat Days. I have to make my gift for each bag. Okay. And things such as that. So yeah, I'm a very busy lady, but I always make time for my students. All right. Just give me an inch. Okay. Just give me an inch. I will get back to you. If you write me, I will get back to you. If you talk to me on Facebook, I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. But I'm pushed for time. Okay. Please understand. I'm not putting anybody off. It's just, I'm one person running 10 miles a day. Okay. And that's hard to accomplish at 65 years old. Okay. So needless to say, don't get mad at me if I don't answer you right away. Okay. Save your questions to come to class because I'm sure if you've got a question, there's 10 people that's got that same question. Write them down in the book, bring your book, and ask. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care how long class takes. Okay, let's set the record straight. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours. Okay? But I want you all to learn. That's the end all be all here. Pam runs email and the group. I come in, I do a quick check of things, anything that's new, I try to respond to. Any new homework that goes up, I try to respond to it. If I miss it, saying something, I didn't miss the picture because Pam always tells me so and so sent in a picture, here it is. Okay. And because she knows what I'm doing every single day. That's why I took off the 2 months starting in August, what is it, September, I think, August. It's to get the doctor appointments done and all the testing done. Once that's behind me, then it's smooth sailing from there, I hope. But we just play it by ear right now and just move on and build a bridge and get over it and deal with it. Okay, so that's where we're at today. Now, on today's class, the homework is the pattern. I want to see you all do that. I'm not going to do it here. Okay. Thanks, Pam. Because I want to see what you've learned so far from the classes. And that way, the next series, when I come back, I can hit those points. That's what I say. You can come back to the next series if you feel like you need it. If you don't, move on to the intermediate class and focus there. That's the one I run on Tuesday. It's intermediate advanced. So you're going to go in that class from an intermediate beginner to an advanced, up to a master. Okay. So just know it's a compilation of a lot of things, but this is designed to get you with good footing. Okay, that's why it's only email until after we have class. I don't want my advanced students, and they do this to be helpful, it's nothing mean. I don't want my advanced students coming in and confusing you because everybody tats differently. Mary found out there is no set way to hold your shuttle. There's no set way to tat. And her and I, because she has problems with her hands working for her and fighting against her, between her and I, we came up with a new method for her to use, and we're going to call it Mary's method. And she's using 2 forms of methods to tat, and it's working for her. So she's getting to do her lifelong dream. So if that helps you, great. Use 2 forms. Okay. If not, then try something else. That's right, Derby. You use your whole body to tat. And y'all think it's funny, but you know, there are people that don't have arms that tat. Think about that. They use their feet to tat with. And I think it's amazing. Okay. So just because you have a handicap of some sort doesn't mean you can't tat. I have taught officially 5 blind people how to tat myself. So just think about that. If they can do it, so can you. And it's because I take the time that is necessary to show you all the hits in the road you're going to get and how to fix it. I don't leave you hanging. A lot of your YouTubers, they'll say, okay, this happened, and then they cut it out. They don't show you how to fix it. They want to make you think they didn't make a mistake. They don't want to show their mistake. How are you supposed to learn to fix mistakes if you don't see what happened? Because they cut it out. You know? So we don't want that here. I make a mistake, I'm going to show you how to fix that mistake because we all make mistakes. We're all beginners in tatting. Know that to be true. Every day you will learn something new 50 years from now. Okay? So keep that up here. Now, that is the next subject. Tat Days is in Ridgecrest, North Carolina. They are in the area that was hit by Hurricane Helene. where the campground was, we parked the rig, ain't there no more. It's gone. It was a beautiful campground. I have to say, it was beautiful. And we had our own bear. Her name was Betsy. And so if you want to go to Tat Days, we have 15 slots left. Everybody's booking up the rooms. Okay, we have so many rooms available, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to go to Tat Days, we've got 15 available slots. Register at Palmetto's Tatting Guild website, ptg.org. Okay, go there, register, go to Tat Days. You will meet people such as Mary Lee Rockley, Martha S., Anitra Stone, okay, Arlene Metter, Anita Berry, which is a double master tatter. She is a master tatter with IOLI. She is also a master tatter with Tatters Across Time. These are highfalutin people you want to know. These are your designers. Okay? I'm just a nobody, Pam. My name at Tat Days is Gopher. You know, go for this and go for that. I also run the auctions, so yeah, I do that. But needless to say, if you want to go to Tat Days, get your registration in and go. You will have the time of your life. And registrations only, I'm thinking, I could be wrong, until the end of this month, because they have to let the place that we're going know. Now, don't forget, you eat there, you stay there, classrooms are there. You don't have to leave the building. All right. And it is a beautiful place. They were blessed and not hit by the flood. Okay. So do go. It's worth every penny you spend. You're going to have the time of your life. That's a fact. Because you hear women laughing from one end of the hallway to the other. Okay. Everybody's having a great time. And that's what it's for. You get to meet people that speak your language. Okay. Is the cost all inclusive? I believe the meals are extra. I'm not sure. You can go to the website and find out. If Teresa was here, she'd answer you. She handles all that negotiating stuff. She's the president of Palmetto's. Like I said, my name's Gopher. So I stepped into George's shoes, basically, when she retired. I got the crown of lace. Seriously, we got a video of that. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. But do look into that. Okay? And if you don't get a scholarship this year, I don't know if they've cut it off yet or not. If you don't get a scholarship this year, do apply for next year. You're allowed to get a scholarship once every 4 years. And you could get up to a full paid scholarship. Okay? Now, I don't know how the scholarship funding works. And you want to see the video with me with the tatted crown, I'll have to share it with y'all. I don't know how all that stuff works. I know they have a committee that does the scholarships. So this is Georgia's scholarship fund. So now we got all the nitty gritty of that out of the way. The next thing is, if you enjoy these videos and you learn something, you develop something from this, and it helps you in any way, you can donate. And that's several ways. You can donate on our website through PayPal. You can donate through here with that little $sign at the bottom and do super chat, super thanks, super stickers. Okay. You can also, donate by sending straight to our PayPal account, which is the online tatting class at gmail.com. All right. And you just go to PayPal, put that address in, and you can send it. They take debit cards, they take credit cards, the whole ball of wax. Okay. Any amount does help quite considerably. Okay. And if you don't have money to donate, that is not a problem. Watch those commercials. And yes, I know if you all watch the commercials, I'm letting known about that. So watch the commercials so that we can earn money off the commercials to help offset the cost of these classes. To date, I have sunk a lot of money into these, about $13,000 to keep them going. And that's to cover expenses like computers, cameras. If the camera dies, I have to buy a new one. Or y'all don't see nothing. How you going to learn if you don't see nothing? You know what I'm saying? And things like that, lighting, all that has to be bought and paid for. Well, we also have the website and the domain name. Okay. Things like that cost. And it's minimal cost, actually, considering what all we offer. Oh, Mary, you are so sweet. Thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, anything helps, even a commercial. All right. Now, YouTube sent me a notification. I don't know if y'all have been watching any other channels, but you know how the commercial branches off to the side while the video's still going? Well, it looks like the video's still going, but they've got it paused actually. And when the commercial cuts off, then it goes right back to the video. No, you can't in a private stream. You can only do it in the live streams. But they're starting to do that. And there's a way I can opt out. I don't want commercials during class, because if we're in the middle of something that's exciting and y'all are wanting to learn and they throw a commercial in, boy, that's going to make me mad. You know, because I don't want the classes disturbed like that. If we're going to take a commercial break, I can assign a commercial break. And I'll know when the commercial break comes on because I tell it when it comes on. Okay. But if I do that, that'll be got to go to the bathroom, get a drink, come back, get something to snack on, whatever. But we're not watching TV. So, this doesn't make sense for the commercial break. So, y'all watch those commercials. Okay. So, with that said, let's go downtown. Let me show you all this fun stuff I got on my desk. Y'all gonna like it. Seriously, you're gonna like it. Camera, let's do this thing. There we go. Y'all see all that? Y'all see all that good stuff? Now, I wonder what all this stuff is for. Anybody have any ideas? Well, we're going to learn about joins, but we're also going to learn about what all these goodies are. First of all, we got thread. Lots of thread. Now, we've even got a big ball of thread somewhere. I can't find it right now. Aunt Lydia's. You can use Aunt Lydia's. Any thread will work. Okay. This is put out by Handy Hands. It's called Eliza. Okay. And it's a size 10 thread. It makes for good tatting. Okay. And to show you that it makes for good tatting, check that out. There is some good tatting there. See? Tats up very nice. All right. Now, the yellow that's here, guess what that is? Let me show it. That is the Elizabeth. So, yeah, you can mix the two size 10s. Okay. You can mix your threads. You can mix larger threads with smaller threads. And you get a whole different look to your pattern. These are ways you can use to hide imperfections. Okay. Draw attention to something else while hiding an imperfection. All right. you can use your joints to hide something and enhance something else. If you draw your attention away from and put it somewhere else, people never see. So y'all understand that? So when you get a pattern and they say use this size thread and that size thread, look for what they're hiding. Okay. Now, if you intentionally use two different size threads or two different brands to get depth and dimension, go for it. All right. Question on thread. Relation of size 8, 10, 12, 20 thread. 8 DMC seems thinner than a 10. It is. Because size 8 DMC is a pearl cotton thread. It's not tatting thread. Size 10 is a pearl cotton thread, and it also comes in a size 10 tatting thread. Does that make sense? The difference between tatting thread is its coordinate. Let me see if it says it on here. Yeah. 6 cord coordinate thread. You'll see it down here at the bottom. Okay. That is what you want to look for. That is actual tatting threads. Yes. If you want your tatting to look pristine like this, use your tatting threads. Okay. Now, thank you, RD. If you want to use depth and dimension, let me show you. Let me get my sample book. Everybody should be having their sample books. Y'all should be working on them. Okay, let me get in here and get you a technique. All right, we did some rings. Where's me rings? Y'all don't know how these samples are. Okay, here is our samples. Let me show you. Here's one. Here's a ring with a frayed edging to make a little fluffy flower. Let me pull that out so y'all can see that. And it's called frayed picots. All right. Come on, climb out of there. I got it in here so tight, it's unreal. You see, it's frayed. It's fluffy. Okay. Now, there is a pattern, and it's out in the world, and it's called thistle. There's your thistle. Okay. So you can use your picots to create depth and dimension throughout. Okay. You can use different threads to create depth and dimension throughout. You don't have to tat any pattern the way it's written. You do have, if you change it enough from the original, you need to mention designers. Okay? So people get respect that's due. And we watch out for our designers here. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Specifically, what brands are the tatting threads? Elizabeth is a tatting thread. This is a tatting thread. It's a 6-ply coordinate. Okay. Little Jan's. We've got, let me get it here. Of course, I dropped that. Just get out of the way. Let me get over here and get you all some threads. There's one. Alton Bastique. Okay. There's Little Jan's. If you get your hands on this, that is tatting thread. That's Sibylla thread. Okay, what else we got in here? Okay, we've got DMC, actual DMC tatting thread. And it usually comes in the size 80. if you can get your hands on the other sizes, it goes up to size 120. Handy Hands usually carries that, and that thread is the size of sewing thread. Okay, now we also have, let's see, where are we at? Let me get that. This is Olympus tatting thread. Okay, it's made in Japan. Clover, Japan is the only place you can get it. This is size 40. And again, it's coordinate. You can't read it, but it is coordinate. And they call it crochet cotton 10 gram. Okay, this is gold label, but it's a 40 thread. Okay, now let's see. These are just a tip of the iceberg. You can tat with polyester threads. You can tat with just about any kind of thread you can get your hands on, to be honest. It's doable. There are people that use quilter's cotton thread, you know, that you get out of the sewing department. The link, Pam, do you still have the link for the jewelry book? That's a jewelry book for travelers. They put their jewelry in it and they can keep up with their jewelry. And I used it. I bought them for jewelry at first, and now I use them for my sample books to keep my stuff from getting dirty. So, and the last time I shared that link, they ran out. So I hope y'all got y'all's. Okay, I'm just saying. But yeah, any threads you can wrap on a shuttle, you can use in the tatting world. It's at Amazon. Traveler, all right, jewelry, travelers jewelry book or something like that. I have it under one of the other videos. The best tatting thread to graduate to, I would move into Elizabeth. If you want a truly good tatting thread, that's who I would move to. Okay, and I don't have stock in her, or I don't get paid to say that. That's just my opinion, and I try most everything I can get my hands on so I can relay it to you. And bottom line is, it's what feels good to you. Now, I used, if I still got it, let me see. I may have, these are all my threads. These are my quick grab threads. And I've got them wrapped so that when I need something, I can get to it. Let me get this. You can also undyed threads too, by the way. We have a lady at Tat Days that sells it at Tat Days. Now that's silk thread. Okay. And this is hand-dyed thread. All right. Now, hand-dyed thread is threads that have been dyed by hand by someone. And this was Phyllis. And this one's called Firefly. They'll use Elizabeth white, or they'll use DMC white, Bolo, something. There's another brand that they use and they all are white, and then they hand dye them. Mary Lee Rockley puts out some beautiful colors on her shop page. I don't have that address available. She's just opened up a new shop, but she's got some beautiful hand-dyed threads. For a beginner, start with size 10. Okay, that's this size thread. That way you can see your stitches and see what you're doing. Okay. Now, oh no, you're not hoarding the chat. You're asking questions that people need to know. Don't ever feel like you're hoarding the chat. Okay, this is Eliza, and Handy Hands carries this. I use a lot of Handy Hands products. I wouldn't use them if I didn't like them. Okay. The twist on the thread that she has can be a pill, but I'm going to show you how to take that twist out. Okay. How to get rid of a lot of it when you're wrapping your shuttles. That's okay. That's okay. Anna just stays on top of things. If I'll be honest with you guys, I could not run these classes by myself if it wasn't for the team that I had. I stay so that busy. It's hard for me to get 2 seconds to even breathe. But remember, I do this for you all, not for me. I do it for y'all because what I see you show in the group does wonders for me. It makes me feel good that I could share a gift that was given to me freely. So I'm paying it forward. And in that, I'm seeing some beautiful work come out of y'all. All right. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions. Don't ever be afraid. All right. So if you're going to go with a tatting thread and you've got shuttles to wind, all right, before we get into these, and I got a knot in that one. How'd that happen? Let me get that out before I start tatting, or it's going to tie up really well, and we don't want that. Anytime, and sometimes you'll get thread that's got a knot in it. Just sit there and take it out. Now, to wind a tatting shuttle, let me get an empty one. Have I got an empty one? Yeah, I got an empty one somewhere. I always have empty ones. Let me grab that one and this one. Now, you've got this kind, and you've got this kind that's got the little pick out the end. You got this one that's got a pick. Then we've got, move stuff out of the way. Y'all want to see some tatting shuttles? Here we go. These are amber tatting shuttle, Baltic amber tatting shuttles. Okay. These are acrylic tatting shuttles by Shuttle by Design. These are moonlight shuttles. They come both with a pick or a hook, and the sunlit shuttles look identical to this, but they have a hook. Okay. We have clover shuttles. We have clover bobbin shuttles that have bobbins that go with them, like these. Okay. So yeah, we could have a fiesta with shuttles. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. I knew it was out there. It just would not come off the tongue. Yeah. And if you get the Golo, it's a smoother thread and it works great for tatting. And a lot of people that use the Golo are the ones that dye their thread. It's a really good thread to hand dye. Yes, exactly, Mary. Use the cheaper threads like Aunt Lydia's, Red Hearts. Okay. Use those until you learn to tat because you're throwing good money out for bad. Oh, honey, this ain't even half of my shuttles. Seriously, I got a shuttle for everything you want to do. Now, here's some other shuttles. Okay, I'll get the Orts bag out. Here you go. Now, these are wood shuttles, and this one is a buffalo horn shuttle. This is what they call a bumblebee shuttle. It's got a bobbin at the end. There's your one. This one came from, I want to say, India. I really do. I've got, this is one that I designed. and Veronica created it for me, but we're still trying to figure out how to make it work where the bobbin doesn't move, because we don't want the bobbin to move. This one here, where is it? Yeah, it's a Papa bobbin. Jane Everall's sister you'd make them. Now this is a GR8 wood. It's Sacred Heart wood, I think is what it is. Let's see, where is, there's the Papa bobbin right there, and it's wood, cherry wood. That's one that Jane Everall gave to me, and these are hand carved. See, and here's a flat shuttle. I got this in a bag one time. It's a flat shuttle from Nancy's Bead Stitch shop. This is a Russian wooden shuttle. This is an old Russian wooden shuttle. So see, you can use any kind of shuttle that is comfortable to you. Okay, it doesn't have to be any specific shuttle. It just has to be what you like. That's what tatting's all about. It's what you like. Okay. Okay, she tried crochet thread and could not close the rings without folding up and getting all wonky. Yes, I'm going to show that to you. Okay. Let's see. You're not yelling. It does make it easier for me to see and for the moderators to catch. Okay, thank you, Mary. I do appreciate that. All right, well, let's get back to what we're doing today. Now, these two threads are going to go with this. But first, I want to show you how to wind your shuttle. Now, this thread coming off of here, okay, is what they call a helper loop. You see it? And what this helper loop is, it gives you this much space from the end of your thread, okay, so that as you're tatting, if you only got this much left to finish your piece, and it's on the tail end, it gives you room to tat with, so you can use your thread all the way to the end. All right, now I'm going to show you how you do this. All right, pay very close attention. We're going to put a helper loop on this one that has none. Okay, and the way I'm putting this helper loop on, I'm also going to show you how you would wind this shuttle if you didn't use a helper loop. And you'll see why you need the helper loop, because you're going to waste a ton of thread if you don't have your helper loop. What you do is you pull your thread through, hold it on the top, and start walking your thread. You see that? You walk your thread onto the shuttle. Well, when you walk your thread onto the shuttle, you get to this point. You see how much thread you're going to waste? So, with that said, if you have your helper loops, you don't waste all this thread. You get to use it all. So today, we're going to put a helper loop right here on this one. And the way you do it, okay, and where it comes out at is up to you, okay? With me, I just pull the two ends up together because my helper loops are going to stay on here, okay? Some people put them on and take them off. Why? I don't know. But I leave mine to stay. And I just tie a knot, put it through the loop, bring it around, and tie a knot on there. It's in place. It's not going nowhere. Yes, I'm going to waste thread because I got fat fingers. But that's okay. I buy thread to teach y'all. All right. So, and then you just trim it off. All right. You can also put a slip knot on it and run your slip knot through that loop, catch your thread, and go on. But we're at the back of the shuttle. Now, if you like your pick facing the back of your hand like this when you're tatting, you'd want your thread to come out down here. If you're left-handed, it will come out here at the back. If you're right-handed, here, left-handed here. If your shuttle, the pick is facing back behind your hand like this or like this, it doesn't matter. It's what's comfortable to you. Then you just walk your thread onto your shuttle like this. Okay? Now, for your helper loops, you go from this to snipping that off. And you want to tie a little knot right there. Hold your fingers together. Come in. And I like to pull it up just a hair. So I've got about 2 inches from the shuttle back here. Okay. Once you get that, tie a knot in that thread. I'm doing this backwards. Yes, backwards. I shouldn't have got up this morning. Nah, I'll make it. I'll make it. Tie a knot in it. Bring that knot down as far as you can to the tail. Pull tight. You got your helper loop on there. Now, you want to add thread. Let's go with the helper loop. We're going to add thread. You grab your thread, and the reason I'm using different colors is so you can see what I'm doing. Take your thread. See that loop? Put a loop in it. And I always leave a long tail on this. That way you've got plenty of thread. Plenty of thread to finish that piece. With this amount of thread, I can get a clover and a chain in at the very end. Run your shuttle through that helper loop. Move everything down on top of that thread. Now at this point you can leave it because we have enough thread here that it's not going to come off. Okay? If you want, if it's a smaller tail, take your 2 threads here and you're going to pull them apart until it pops. And you're going to switch that thread from the green to the yellow. It's locked in there. It's not going nowhere. Then when you're done tatting and you're ready to take it off, you do the opposite. Okay, here's your threads. You want to take your yellow threads and turn it back to the green. And then pull your thread out. Everybody got that? Now this is Gina Butler's idea. This was on her video. And she taught this to us years ago. And it's been the best thing since sliced cheese, I have to say. Okay? So use your helper threads. They will save you so much time, trouble, and money that it's unbelievable. And leave yourself enough of a tail back here at the back so that you've got room to finish up. Now, you can also finger tat the last little bit if you've got enough to do. To finger tat, you'd wrap your hand and you'd go and finger tat it all with your fingers as if you were tatting with a shuttle. No difference. You'll hear people say this needs to be finger tatted. That's finger tatting. You're making the same movements using these little fun extremities of our bodies. Okay? Now, when you're wrapping your thread on your shuttle, again, you walk the thread on like this. That tames that twist. Okay? It doesn't take it out, but it tames it. But as you're wrapping your shuttle, every once in a while, drop it and let it twist out completely. When the shuttle stops twisting, continue to wind. It takes a little longer, but it relieves a lot of stress. Okay? It will help prevent the headaches you will get by winding your shuttle the wrong way. Now, we've got those that want to wind their shuttle, and they do this. It's called the windmill method. Well, guess what happens when you use the windmill method? You put twist in the thread. So make sure you walk that thread on, just like this, because that thread is going the same direction the whole time. Windmill method, it's not. It's coming off. Okay? You're going this direction. Now you come around, you're going this direction. You're changing direction. And when you change direction, you add twists to the thread. You don't want the thread to twist. All right? Everybody got that on thread twist prevention? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you got it. Now, I'm going to give you one more last tidbit. See these ends on your thread? You can manage those with these little child's hair clips, just like that. Okay? Inexpensive. Or you can get this stuff from Twisted Picot. She carries it. And this is amazing tape. Hugo's amazing tape. Now, I got to show you. Okay? I'm going to show you with this. I'll get to the bobbin shuttle, hun. This here is not sticky. Okay? You can't stick it to yourself. You can't stick it to nothing. But if I want, all right, we'll do it on this yellow one. I want to put piece of tape on here. I take this. I lay it on my thread like this. Trying to do this one-handed. That didn't work. Wrap it around. Come back around. Bring it and lay it on top of that other one. Then cut your tape. It ain't going nowhere. Okay. So this is another one of those best things since sliced cheese. Twisted Picot is the one that carries this. Okay. We have a link below for her. And it's not, I think this was like $5. But it will save you a lot of time and trouble because you put your threads all together. Yes, ma'am. It's very reusable. You take it off of this, or off of that, you put it on that. If it gets dirty, you rinse it out. It's called Hugo's Amazing Tape. And it's not really tape. It's got a static electricity to it that it holds itself together. Now, what I like about it is if it gets gunky on it, dirt, run it under the faucet, lay it out on a paper towel, dry. Then you can reuse it. Yeah, a Twisted Picot has it, and the link is down below in the description box. Okay? Can you rinse? I run mine through the wash machine on a delicate cycle. So, yeah, you can wash them. Don't dry them. Don't dry them. There is a mesh in between the two pieces, the top and the bottom, and the dryer will separate that. Okay? So, you're getting a lot of hints and tips and tricks today, folks, and little ideas. All right? So, now she wants to see a bobbin shuttle wound. Well, most of your bobbin shuttles, including your metal bobbin shuttles, I love this jar. It was a Calgon bottle called Ocean Breeze. It still smells like Ocean Breeze. I love the smell of that. It makes everything in there smell good. Even these Just Rights, the boy bobbin shuttles. Okay, even these have a way to wind the bobbin. Say that 3 times in a row. My nails get in my way. There we go. You stick that bobbin right on the tail. Of course, this one wouldn't do that. Why? I don't know. I'll show you on the other one. This one, oh, I know why. I know why this one won't. It's a long story, not getting into it. There is a boy in here. Yeah, that's a boy. That's a vintage boy. I don't use these. This one here belonged to my great aunt, but I don't use these. And the reason I don't is they leave my hands smelling like a metal, and they also leave your thread smelling like metal. Now, you stick the bobbin on here. You grab your thread. Where's my thread? Here we go. You put it on there like that, and you start winding. And that's how you wind a boy. Okay? Your bobbin shuttles, you can do the same thing. However, let me get, where is it at? You can do this with a knitting needle too. Lay it on the table and roll. Okay? Just lay it on the table. You have to hold your thread back, but lay it on the table and roll to wind that thread. Okay? Little hint there. But the clover bobbins, they're different. They're designed to be wound with their little winder, just like the Dreamlit shuttles. They're made to wind just like the shuttles. Helps if I get the right parts, doesn't it? Any of y'all take fluticasone and get a prescription? These little green tabs on your prescription works perfect for that. Tatters are ingenious. We find strange things to use for curing problems. Okay, that's how you do that. Now, the ingenious part, there's a loop down here, a little loopy hole. Of course, that thread's got a frayed end. There we go. You're out of the way. You want to thread that in. Now, when you put the thread through there, bring it down here until you get it wrapped to lock that thread in. Now, the bobbin shuttles are hard to find. They still sell them. Clover Japan is the only one you can get them from. I don't know, because I know that Kelly orders a bunch of stuff from Clover Japan, and she may be able to get these. I don't know. I know she's got the bobbins, but I don't know if she's able to get the whole thing. But to see, and as I wrap it, I'm hiding my tail in that. Okay? And you can wrap these bobbins a little further out, but don't use size 10 with bobbin shuttle. Trust me, you don't want that. That's misery. Number 3 in the nth degree, because you can't get that much thread on there. So you're constantly hiding ends. Okay? I would save bobbin shuttles for when I am an expert enough that I can use smaller threads. For a ball of 80 to go on here, you can flat do some serious tatting. But remember, 80 is a very fine thread. So what you tat with, it's going to be really, really tiny. So you got to pick your battles. And bobbin shuttles are great. I use them for small tats. I use them for tight places. But that's about it. Okay? I keep these shuttles on hand for a reason. There is always a use for them. Many, many different ways to use them. Now, let me move all this stuff over here. We did the shuttle deal. Let's move on. We're going to get down to all these goodies. All right? That off there. Now these little things. Oh, Lordy. Y'all going to have a ball with these. When you're tatting and you're finished, you got these ends that's sticking out everywhere, and you've got to sew them in. After you sew them in, you still got ends. Well, you see this. It's got a hole in the center. Can y'all see the hole? Tiny little hole. Well, if you put the ends of your tatting, this thread, the 10's a little bit too much to put through that tin. I'll bet you, I don't think it'll go through. I've got several, you see, and each one of them have a different sized hole. That one probably will work. What you do is you put the end of your tail through that little hole, bring it down to your tatting, lay it flat on your tatting like that, and pull that away. Run your scissors up next to that, and you snip. When you snip, you've snipped your tail and not your tatting. You don't know how many times in my tatting years that I have snipped a snowflake, and oh boy, the snowflake was ruined because I cut the threads. So I had to redo it. And that stops that from happening. And it saves a lot of potty words and washing my mouth out with soap. So there you go. You have that. Now, this little tool, I don't know who came up with it, but they were a genius. This is another way to deal with those ends. Have you all seen Shrinky Dinks? They're little plastic paper you run through the printer and print it 50% higher. Hi, Tanya. Well, guess what? Then you stick it in the oven and you shrink it. You make sure you got a little hole here before you shrink it. Well, if you attach your thread to that little hole, okay, the ends of your thread, that, remember that piece that we left hanging at the back of that helper thread, helper loops? If you thread that on there, you can finger tat, especially somebody with nails like I got. You can finger tat till the cows come home using that. And it's Shrinky Dinks. That's all it is. You get a pack of what, 6 sheets for like $9. Well, inflation, I don't know what it is now, but you can use that. Inexpensive. These are sequins, okay? I don't know where you get these at. I'm venturing to say someplace like Hobby Lobby would have them in the confetti department. And that's what they're used for. You can use any sequin, really. Now, this was the remnant. This is a remnant of a gift card I had, okay? And this is a DMC floss winder. And guess what these two make great? Picot gauges. And the way you use these, you get you a ruler or a tape measure, whatever way you want to go, you lay it on there, okay? And you mark your 16th, your 8th, your quarter, your half, your 3/8. You just go to town with marking a card. And then you just draw your lines, okay, on that card using Sharpie pens. Now these pens here will mark on here. Make sure you use a baby wipe or alcohol before you put this against your thread, or these Sharpie pens will go through on your thread, but you have now got a picot gauge. So it's worth the little extra you got to go through with some alcohol and a paper towel to wipe the ink off. Just saying. All right. Same deal with this. That's a picot gauge. The nice thing about this, you got a little hole so you can hang it on a hook, and guess what? It can go on your lanyard. It can go on your chatelaine, you know, things like that. Yes, we will make a chatelaine in class one day. Okay. So remember that. Somebody else took, you know, the plastic lids off of containers, you know, the restaurant containers. Those make really great picot gauges. I'm just saying, they're really great picot gauges. Butter dishes are another good picot gauge. And it didn't cost you nothing but time to wash it out. There you go. So, that is your laundry list of fun little projects you can make to put in your tatting kit. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you, you see these Sharpie pins? You draw one there. Draw one there. You got a picot. Everybody see what I just did? Didn't hurt me at all. Okay. I made 2 dots on my fingers. See what this is? That's clear nail polish. You put the clear nail polish on them 2 dots. You got a picot gauge till the cows come home or until you remove the nail polish. And when you remove the nail polish, this comes off with it. And you can use the small Sharpie pen or the big Sharpie pen, as long as it's got a fine point like that. Okay, so you can make an actual picot gauge using your fingers. Now, how in the world do you think I came up with all this stuff? I wasn't the first. And we share little tricks and tips like this at Tat Days every single year. Everybody's got a little thing they do. They also have little nifty ways they carry their tatting with them. Okay? That's why you need to register. Yep. Mary, you got it. You got it. And that's the best way to use a picot gauge, because you're going to guarantee they're always right. It's right there. And when you're tatting, you just, well, that's my picot. Put my first double stitch there, my second one there, draw them together, I got a picot. And all of them will be consistent. So that's your answer for your picots. Any more questions before we move on? Because today I'm going to show you a really nifty thing to do. Now, all right, remind me of the question that Lillian had, wants me to show. Let's see. All right. You want me to show you how to do this? Yes, it does. It does. All right. So here we go. Now I've got this piece here. Okay. Done up right there. All right. And I've got this one. Now this is all size 10 thread. All right. And it's all mercerized. Over here, I have size 3 crochet cotton that is not mercerized. And I answered it about winding a shuttle with a bobbin. No, you asked me about how to get this to work. All right, when you work with crochet cotton thread, all right, you just put your stitches on. You're ready to close your ring. And you're not going to close this ring any different than I'm going to close these. Okay? It's all the same. You have to get the twist out or it's going to kink and it's going to cause your thread to bunch up inside here. Mercerized is better. Okay? But you can use both. Now, when I go to close this, it's going to slide. If it doesn't slide, there's 2 problems. One, you tat too tight like me. And the other one is your thread's kinking. So you just drop it and let the thread spin out. See how it's spinning out? Watch that thread spin out. What that's doing is taking that twist out that would kink up in your ring and prevent you from closing it. So that's your problem. And the regular crochet cotton does that. It'll kink up every time. All right. So we got that handle. Let's get on with this. Now, one of the joins that I sent you the paperwork on is called an alligator join. It's one that can save your bacon when nothing else will. Now, you run into a situation that you want to join at the base of a ring and a chain, or two rings together, and you're going in this direction, okay? An alligator join is one of the easiest joins you can do. And the way that works, all right, this is the work we're attaching to. You would take your ball thread or shuttle 2 thread, and you'd put it behind your work, okay? And you'd take shuttle 1 thread and lay it on the top, creating the alligator join. And when you do that, this is what's going to happen. You wrap your hand to make your double stitch, okay? And you go ahead and bring it in. Now I'm going to put a couple of more in here so you can see what that looks like. I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see it. There you go. There is that alligator join, and it is just as the name applies. An alligator bites, okay? They bite down like this. So therefore, this is the top of his mouth, and there's the bottom of his mouth. And that's an alligator join. It's easy peasy to use. And you can change the look of your pieces if you use an alligator join, because it gives you a continual line of tatting. Okay, so there's one thing that I wanted to show you guys today. Now, I'm not going to fight with taking that off right now. The next thing that I want to show you all is how these folded joins work. Okay, now a folded join, anybody know when is a folded join used? Any idea? A folded join is used when you have two elements meeting, right, side by side, okay? Two rings coming in together. In fact, I'll show you. Let me get. Of course, I have to dig to China to get my little box here. All right. See, this is all my tidbits. When you have two rings that join side by side, one of these rings has got to be a folded join at the end. Okay? So, by doing that, you have to learn how to fold your join in and make sure nothing gets twisted. All right? So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Yes, this is all my little tat bits. And this goes to Palmetto's with me. And I give it to them, and they hand it out at the state fair. So there. Now, we are going to make a folded join on this picot. Let me get this out of the way. I'm snipping you off. You're in my way. You're gone. All right. We're going to make a folded join right there. And the only way we can fold that join is if we take this ring, fold it over, and line that picot right there up with this core thread. Watch what I do. Okay? Let me get this zoomed in as far as I can zoom in. I want you to see this. Okay? Is it clear for you guys? Can you see it? What I'm going to do, I'm going down through that picot. I'm grabbing that thread and I'm pulling it up, just like an up joint. Then I'm going to open it to make sure everything's laying proper. Take the twist out and hook that on that finger. Do you know why I hook it on that finger? So that the twist doesn't come back in. Now, run your shuttle up through there. Work it all down. And it does take time because that's a tiny picot. And you got to get your fingers and all your tails out of the way. All right, we get it down. It's snug up. Now we put in our double stitches. And this one had 5 double stitches at the back of that ring. So go ahead and put your 5 double stitches in. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now, before we close, we're going to pull our thread that way. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. Get that out of the way. I'm going to grab this thread and I'm going to back it off and I'm going to pull that twist out. See? Watch it. Can y'all see it untwisting? Let me get it up here. It's untwisting. It's blurry, I know. But it pulls that twist out. Now you can close that ring. Okay? So put your ends together and close. When that ring gets to that point, you want to start pulling that thread towards your tatting. Okay? I got out of shot. Sorry about that. I'll open it back up because I want you to see that. If I can get it to back off some. All right, that loop will be out about right there. Okay, I just got it closed too tight now. Once it gets to there, you start pulling into your tatting. Okay, and you keep pulling. That ring is going to distort until you get it shaped. Okay, once you get it shaped, then you take your hand out and you start manipulating it so it looks like the other rings. Okay, and that's what you want. Okay. All right, Lil. So, everybody got that. We got the alligator join. We got a folded join. You have an up join. You have a down join. Okay, everybody knows how to do the up join. Everybody knows how to do the down join. There was a question. Let me switch cameras because this is the tail end of today. All right. Everybody asks, and it's the same question. Do you count the double stitch, the other half of the double stitch, after you join the picot as a double stitch? That is up to you. Most tatters do not count the stitch in the picot where they have joined as a stitch. They count the stitch before the picot and the stitch after the picot. However, as with most things in tatting, some designers do count that stitch as part of the double stitch. And one in particular is Jan Stawaz. He does a unique style of tatting. Very few people can understand his style of tatting, but what it is called is front side tatting. That's where everything is tatted from the front side. He never reverses his work. Now, that makes your tatting really difficult if you tat that way, because you have to remember the extra half stitch. You have to remember that things don't always go in the direction they need to go. If you're not professed in it, don't try it. If you're wanting to do front side tatting on anything, be sure you know what you're doing. I'm just saying. I use front side, back side tatting, and when I teach class, I have to catch myself because I use it all the time. And in class, I don't think, about it. So, it's one of those things, it's preference, as with most things. Now, if you know your designers, you'll figure it out, what they're doing. let's see, on the finger wrap, my fingers get caught in the threads when I am pulling the stitch to the core thread. I think that's why I haven't done it. Suggestions. Pull, put it in the pinch and hold that pinch as tight as you can, Mary. We'll work on that next week together. So I've got to give you a day that's convenient to me, and you give me a time that's convenient for you. I'll send you an email, but we'll work on it together. And Dennis is going to hook us up on Zoom, my dear, and we can get you on the straight and narrow. Told you I was going to get you tatted, didn't I? Promised. I always keep my promises. You can ask anybody that knows me, they'll tell you. I'll break my neck to keep my promises. So, any questions about class today? Everybody got all that goody stuff? Now, we've only got 2 more beginner classes to finish out this segment. Then I'll be off until October. Mary, you can send me a blue million emails if you need, honey. I'll answer them. I just, things get in the way. Know that I'll answer you. Don't be sitting there waiting for an answer right away. But I will get back to you. But if you want, instead of doing that, why don't you do this? Make a list. And when we meet up for the private session next week, then we can sit down and discuss all that. How's that sound? Oh, you're welcome, RD. Very welcome. There's no more questions? Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, folks, then I am going to call it a day and get out of this oven that I'm toasting in. I closed my door because he's working. And it's quite toasty in here. I've only got one air conditioner vent up there and a little swamp cooler over here. And yeah, it's not doing no good. It's like really super hot today. It's 90. Oh, yeah, I'm way wrong. It's 97 here. Oh, you're all welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for helping. All my moderators, give them a big thumbs up, folks. You're welcome, Derby. So if there's nothing else, you're stuck to your leather armchair. Now you know why I got rid of leather furniture. That hurts when you get up. And if you're not able to get up real quick and you do get up, oh, Lord have mercy. All right, folks, I'll see y'all next week. Until then, may all your threads make beautiful lace. Happy tatting, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.